What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Untamed. Yeah, boy. Coming at you live for another episode of the Man What Podcast. Man, what? You already know how I go down every single time I touch this mic, man. I want to take this time out to thank all of my new subscribers, fans, people who commented on TikTok, Instagram, all that, man. I really appreciate the love. It means a lot to me. We gained a couple of new subscribers from the last episode, so I just want to say what's up to all the new subs, man. We got plenty of content coming on this page. It's mainly about the news, whatever's trending and just whatever y'all comment, whatever is in the news that day or that week. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that tunes in, man. This is Gam Gam's favorite podcast, and I hope you're watching, baby. I love you for life. It's been a few days since my last pod, almost like a week and a half. I had some things going on in my personal life that I had to step away from recording and all of this shit for. You know what I mean? Don't really want to talk about it, but what I will say is check on your loved ones, man. Check on your loved ones. Check on the people that you call your family. Check on the people that you call your friends, because you never really know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people smile on the outside, but deep down in the depths of their soul, they're hurting, burning, and feeling hopelessness. So, like I said, I just want to take the beginning of this. The intro is check on your loved ones, check on your friends, check on your family, and just make sure they're good. It doesn't cost anything to lend a helping hand. It doesn't cost anything to just check on people, man. I feel like in 2025, in this new era, we're not doing as much helping of others. I know that everybody has their own life and everybody has their own problems and their own triumphs that they have to deal with, but just check on somebody, man. Just lend a helping hand. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be opportunity, because a lot of people feel used in these times, especially when they have certain things that other people don't have. And when they see that other people envy that, they choose to pull away. But I'm here to tell you, that's not always the way. You can help people. You can just talk to people. You know what I mean? You could just have a conversation, and you never know, one conversation could go a long way with the right person. So just make sure that you're helping one another, because we're better together. Two heads, three heads are better than one. And there's nothing like having a good team. There's nothing like having good people around you where you all get to help each other. You know what I'm saying? So take that how you want to take that. But togetherness is the way, guys. And I truly believe that. So check on your loved ones. So, we about to get into the show. The first topic that I want to talk about today is a topic that's going crazy online. I think you all heard about it. You've all have at least seen a few clips about it. And a lot of y'all have opinions about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about this Shannon Sharpe fiasco that has hit the main news lines. Uncle Shay Shay, Nightcap with Ocho Cinco, your favorite sports unk, Shannon Sharpe, has been dragged into court, facing the unthinkable, facing the unimaginable. The allegations that are put up against Shannon Sharpe are diabolical. So if you don't know, over the past week and a half, Shannon Sharpe has been accused of some questionable acts by a young lady, whose name I won't reveal on here, because I'm sure you already know her name. But nonetheless, this is a 19-year-old woman, you guys. Mind you, Uncle Shay, Shannon Sharpe, is about 55, or he's in his 50s. I'm not sure how old the man is directly, but this is some terrible shit, man. This is some terrible shit, and I hope that any older man knows their boundaries. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, all of this, I just want to say, as an older man, what are you doing with a 19-year-old? Regardless of how beautiful she is, regardless of, just how appealing she is, what can a 55-year-old man gain intellectually from a 19-year-old? I'm going to say it again. What can a 55-year-old man gain intellectually from a 19-year-old? When you're 19, see, I've been 19. When you're 19, you're just starting your life as an adult. You're just starting your journey into adulthood. Your brain's not all the way developed at 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? Your brain isn't even developed enough. 2 years ago, you were a kid, teenager, whatever you want to call it. So I just don't understand the principle of all of this. I guess Shannon Sharpe got with her to exert dominance. That's the only thing that I can see with this. He got with her to exert dominance. And ultimately, that came to bite Shannon in the ass. So, before we get into all the allegations, I want to play this video. I want to play this video of Shannon basically saying that it all was a lie, that it all didn't happen. Let me find this video real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. Where is it? Okay. Let me find it. Anyway, while I find the video, just know that Shannon Sharpe has been sued for $50 million for sexual assault. It was put out by a Jane Doe, which is crazy. I feel like a lot of times, especially in this era, there's too many Jane Does. If you're going to sue someone for $50 million, I believe that you should reveal yourself. I don't think that it's fair for you to be able to sue someone for such an exorbitant amount and you be named as Jane Doe. I think that if you have the strength and the proof to be able to sue someone for such an amount of money, that you should also have the strength to show yourself. It's like a lot of times, a lot of these successful people, men or women, are being sued by a ghost. People in the shadows. Shannon did go and reveal her name, but which I won't do here. But just listen to this. This is what Shannon had to say about these allegations. Check this video.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
So as you can hear by Shannon Sharpe and his demeanor in that video, he's vehemently denying all allegations against him. He's not denying the relationship with the girl, but what he is denying is what she's accusing him of, which is the R word, and beating her. You know, what I gained from that video is Shannon Sharpe tried to spearhead this. He tried to get in front of this before it spun out of control. From what I've seen in the past years from other lawyers, they never really advise their client to make a video like this. They usually advise their client to shut the fuck up. To just shut up. I watched another video with Shannon's lawyer, which is a pretty good lawyer. He's represented presidents before. He's represented a lot of high value people, so to speak. And he's a crisis lawyer. He's a crisis lawyer. If you go on his website, it's actually one of the first things up there, crisis media management. So this is his forte. So maybe he thought that since we're in the social media era that Shannon should just get online and profess his innocence. As you've seen in the video, he spoke on Tony Busby, which we all know Tony Busby. He just got his ass handed to him trying to sue Jay-Z for the same type of allegations. I'm not going to get deep into that because Jay-Z fought him tooth and nail, and evidently Jay-Z kicked his ass. But Tony Busby is back suing another black man. The thing about this is there was a football player who was going through the same thing with Tony Busby, where a lot of accusers were coming out. A lot of women were coming out basically stating the same thing that they're stating about Shannon. And Shannon was really dismissive of it. Shannon was really on the fence about it all, saying basically all these women couldn't be lying, and if everybody's saying the same thing about you, it must be true, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, Shannon. How the tides have turned. You know, I watch academics a lot, and academics always says something that sticks and resonates with me, especially in media, especially in the industry, whether it be music, sports, whatever industry you're in. And you know what he says? He says, when you dig a hole for someone, make sure you dig two. When you dig a hole for someone, make sure you dig two. Now, that's a bold statement. That's a strong statement, because a lot of times when it's your day of reckoning, the media will crucify you. The people you thought were friends will get on their platforms and they will destroy you verbally, physically. Who knows? Um, and that's cool until the shoe is on the other foot. Everybody has its day. Every dog has its day, and the reverse. Everybody has their day of reckoning. And when it's your turn, just make sure that you're not on the bad receiving end of that. A lot of people like to kick you when you're down, not knowing that sooner or later, it'll be your day. Your day will come. So, it's crazy what Shannon is going through. Let me read the allegations towards Shannon. Jane Doe claims that there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. The plaintiff sharing her location with friends from her iPhone, just in case, the documents state. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I'll fucking kill you." Damn, Unc. You really said that? Allegedly. I don't know. The two, nevertheless, continued the relationship, even following a move to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Jane Doe states in her suit that she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident, which she said led to him R-wording her. Now, we all knew about the sex tape or the Instagram live with Shannon Sharpe when he was talking to Michelle, basically coaching her through what seemed to be sexual activity. This was headlines just a few months ago, and we thought that was weird, but it wasn't. There was no allegations of foul play in that, so we all just took it as, "Hey, Unc." We all patted Shannon on the back for that conduct. Though he says he doesn't know he was on live. Who knows? I guess this does prove that he doesn't know, because he had other women that were mad about that. Other women that weren't feeling that, So basically, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for allegedly R-wording a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in this case is asking for tens of millions in damage, which Shannon Sharpe offered her at least $10 million before all of this came out. So a lot of people are condemning him by saying, if you're not guilty of these allegations, why would you offer such a large amount of money? $10 million is no small amount of money. That could change a lot of people's lives. That could change anyone's life. But ultimately, Jane Doe turned down the money. So whoever, and which is crazy, because this chick right here, this 19-year-old chick, is an OnlyFans model. She does a lot of BDSM. She does a lot of kink play, which is really crazy to me because of the allegations against Shannon, which are basically stating the things that she does on her OnlyFans. But since it's Shannon Sharpe, now she wants to sue him. I don't know if I totally believe this girl, but we will reserve that. We will reserve our opinions. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports has filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she says Sharpe brutally essayed her several of times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following a years-long abusive relationship. Now, she keeps on using these buzzwords: essay, abusive relationship, R-word. These are triggering, especially in 2025. And this is coming just a few years off the Me Too movement. Though the movement has died down, I don't think the rhetoric of the movement is dying down. I think it's actually getting stronger because a lot of successful people are being taken down by these suits. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at the gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the documents during their first encounter, Sharpe told her that he would buy her fake titties if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit, Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanded she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated that she and former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. See, there goes those buzzwords again. Controlling, verbally abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body. Attorney Tony Busby wrote in Doe's suit, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule, at his command, whenever he called. This goes back to what I started with. I think the reason that Shannon is even dealing with this younger woman is because of power. He wants the dominance. And like I was saying before, when you're 19, 20, your mind is not all the way developed, so you're more easily persuaded into things, especially by an older person whom you think has more knowledge. Let me also play this. This is one of the phone calls that came out, which is very disgusting, if you ask me. Now, I'm not judging anybody in their sexual life, but just listen to this audio, y'all.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
What? Did y'all hear that audio? Crazy. Now, I don't know what type of sexual escapades that they were involved in together, but she didn't sound too happy in that audio. Now, Shannon is denying all of it. He's saying that this is all a ploy, this is a shakedown. This is just to get a little bit of money out of him. But, Unc, you're in your mid-50s. You gotta be smarter than this. When I heard that audio, it was pretty disgusting. And Tony Busby knows what he's doing as far as this schmear campaign, putting out audio clips like this. I noticed a lot in her tone of voice. She sounded very somber and scared, and there were a lot of pauses between everything. I think Shannon should have known. But he kept on going with it. He says, I might choke you in public. That's crazy. Then he goes on to say, big black man chokes white woman. I hope that isn't a damning statement for you, Shannon. Um, like I said, I don't know what the hell they're into sexually, but that's crazy. That's crazy to say. It's a crazy predicament to be in, and that audio is pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty terrible, and I hate that for him. You know, because I don't think he intended on this. I don't think that he intended for this to get out. But it's crazy though, because it's coming out that Shannon had multiple other instances where a woman at his workplace was suing, or she filed some type of complaint that he choked her as well. Now, you done this before, Shannon? Now, mind you, since the split, Shannon Sharpe has left ESPN. Y'all know he does a show with Stephen A. Smith where he's like the second mic, where he's like the B mic to the Stephen A. Smith show that is on ESPN. And he says that he stepped down to take care of his family, to take care of his friends, which I don't see the case being. I think ESPN let him go or suspended him pending these allegations. And they told him that, hey, you could get on your social media platform and let them know that we have parted ways. He says that he'll come back at the beginning of the NFL preseason, which I don't see happening. Because that's only a few months away, and I don't see this lawsuit being settled so quickly. I don't see this complaint being settled that quickly. I think that even at that time, we're still not going to have too much proof that he didn't do it, unless he takes the Jay-Z route and totally destroys Tony Busby. But the only difference between this case and the case with Jay-Z is that there was no evidence in the Jay-Z thing. There was only a woman saying that she was whatever years old, right? But even her dad came out and discredited his own daughter about her whereabouts that night. In this case, we have a little bit more evidence. We have a little bit of prior events that lead to this. A number of other women have come out since the lawsuit and have accused Shannon of doing such things. We also have the girl that he was in the the first sex tape with, who has come out as well. She says Shannon's attorney allegedly has released a statement about the dirty snow possum, which is his second accuser, that has surfaced. Michelle Evans, claiming that Miss Evans is trying to exploit him and is on probation for trying to murder her husband, which is crazy. But she's coming out too. The first girl from the first sex tape. Oh, come on, Michelle. She's coming out as well. And guess what she is? A white woman. Now, I don't have nothing against white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, Dominican, whatever you may be. But I do see a pattern here. And there's always been a pattern. Just like Shannon Sharpe said, big black man chokes white woman. I think as a successful black man that you should heed and be weary about the company that you keep, especially the Caucasian female persuasion. You know what I mean? This happens time and time again. Black man gets with white woman. She accuses him of the unthinkable, of beating her and abuse and mental abuse. And a lot of times, a lot of these cases, they win because of the stereotypical thing. which is angry black man. You know, so prayers for Shannon. I hope he gets through this shit. Prayers to the woman. If it did happen, I hope that you get your just due. You know, this is all alleged. I don't know what's true. I don't know what isn't true. But Shannon is in some thick shit right now. And I think that he should be bunkering down. He's still on his show, Nightcap with Ocho Cinco. But he hasn't really, after he put out those 2 videos, he hasn't really said anything about it. He's just been talking about the NFL draft, which I think he should do, even though all the comments are trolling him saying that he should talk about the allegations at hand. But the show goes on, I guess. We'll find out sooner or later if Shannon Sharpe is guilty or not. So, the next topic we have is Kanye West. Kanye West recently is going on a tirade. He is going on a slew of streamer interviews. It started with with him wearing the Klansman black outfit, right? Which shook the interview space, which shook the streamer world by going viral. And like I said, he did it with Act. But now Kanye is streaming on his own. He's getting on other streamers' streams and basically just doing the Kanye thing, just telling his story, getting all his points across. Right? Here's one of the things that he said. This is just a snippet of a live he did with him and his friends.
I ain't got nothing against Kendrick. That man can't rap, bro. That man got 1 bar, bro. He ain't got 1 bar. He is Virgil. He's a sweet kid. Top the bank accounts. I am the king. And it's okay.
He says, I am the king. Let's check the bank accounts. I think that Kanye is drunk with money, man. I think he's drunk with money. I don't know if he's crazy or not, but what I do know is that he feels that he's bigger than the program. He feels like he is king, and he says it. He feels like he's a god, based on his accolades, based on his money, based on things of that nature. And I don't really see where he's going with it. He's releasing music, but Kanye said it himself. At this point, he's just rapping for practice. He's not even caring about being an artist. He said he's already mastered that game, which I will agree on. Kanye is one of the most influential artists of our time, but it's being overshadowed by a lot of this rhetoric that he has, this hate towards the Jewish community, this outright disrespect towards a lot of the people who helped him get where he is. He has another video where he's basically talking about Kim Kardashian and saying that she is the Virgil to Paris Hilton. He's basically saying, I'll play it. Check this out.
Kim was Paris Hilton's assistant. I should have had baby with Paris Hilton over Kim Kardashian. You guys, could you imagine if I had kids with Paris Hilton? How many hotels I have now? You get what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that. The Hilton. You know, the Hilton shit. Because I think y'all staying in a Hilton right now. The fucking Edition Hotels is a Hilton. You know what I'm saying? And Paris Hilton had the vision, and then that's what happened. Kim was like the Virgil. Kim was like Paris Hilton's Virgil. And that's what happened. if you have a fucking, if you like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you have a kid with a nanny, the nanny only power is to take your kids. So Kim's only power is to take my kids. I had a baby with a fucking assistant, bro, and then put her on Vogue. Then put her on Vogue, bro. You can't put no motherfucking assistant on Vogue, bro. That's exactly Bernardo know it, and it's king time now, bro. No more motherfucking assistants, no more hugs.
Yeah. So basically, as you heard, Kanye looks at Kim Kardashian as the assistant. He obviously regrets getting Kim Kardashian pregnant. And he says, what if he would have had babies with Paris Hilton, which I agree on. Kim Kardashian was Paris Hilton's assistant. And after that sex tape that she put out with Ray J, which her mother signed off on, she blew up. Kim blew up and became this staple in the entertainment industry. But was it for the right reasons? Who knows? Who knows? But what we do know is that Kanye West decided to scoop her up, knowing that she was just an assistant, and make her famous. I don't know if y'all ever heard that meme, I'll make you famous. But that's basically what Kanye West did. He lifted her up at a time when he was at the top of hip-hop, and it ultimately catapulted her into superstardom and to be able to stand alone by herself with her family. And now Kanye West does a lot of talking about his kids. He does a lot of talking about Kim Kardashian and the Jenners owning his kids' names and their trademarks. So they get to Kim gets the ultimate say on what his kids do and the certain places that they're at. You know what I mean? And he's basically up here fighting for that. He's saying that Kim took away his kids. Kim won't let him parent his kids the way that he want to. And he doesn't like the fact that he has all the money in the world, but doesn't ultimately have a say-so about what happens with his kids, which is ridiculous. I feel for him, but at the same time, Kanye, look what you're doing. Look what you're saying. You're going on a temper tantrum. And regardless of you keep on saying about your kids and saying that you need to have say in what they do, you're not putting up a good argument. If this were any other people, just regular people, right? And a woman had the kids and ultimately took care of them on a day-to-day basis, and the husband was out on social media making these claims and wearing these outfits and spewing hate towards certain religions, and imagine just take it all Kanye and Kim. Imagine if these were just regular people and a man was on Facebook Live always seeming like he was going crazy. What do you think a judge would say? Do you think that a judge would side with the man going crazy online, or would side with the woman who isn't doing much speaking, isn't talking about the situation, isn't putting herself online to look a certain way? Who do you think the judge will side with? I think that that's a rhetorical question, because we all know. We all know. But Kanye is deciding to handle this situation a little bit differently. Well, not even a little bit, a lot of it differently, extremely different than the average person would. And his only retort to everything is, I'm a king, I'm God. Why would I listen to people who are less successful than me? And he even says it in his stream. He says a lot of times he's talking to people. 99.9% of people are less successful than him. So he doesn't take their advice, you know, and I think that that's a slippery place to be in, a slippery slope to be on, because basing what I will say is that it's not bad to filter out the opinions of others, and take them as you will, and make them, just make reason out of whatever you think is a reasonable opinion. But I think with Kanye, he's letting this success, he's letting this money, he's letting these things cloud his judgment. And just because someone isn't as successful as you doesn't mean that they don't have a valid opinion on what you're going through. Just because somebody is less successful than you doesn't mean that they can't advise you in a certain situation. Now, whether you listen or not is up to you. And I think that a lot of people that are advising Kanye, because people always say, oh, Kanye needs somebody to tell him, no, don't do this, and no, don't do that. But I think people are. I think the people that are around Kanye and the people that can directly access Kanye are advising him on certain things. But it's Kanye. Kanye's not listening to them. Kanye feels like he doesn't have to heed to the opinions. He doesn't have to adhere to the social norms because he's more successful than these people. And ultimately, this is the Kanye that we're getting. When I look at Kanye, I see someone who's tired. I see someone who's confused. I see someone who just needs a shoulder to lay on. I see somebody who just needs somebody to be there for him. And a lot of times I feel sorry for what Kanye's going through. Kanye ends up putting out a song a few days ago called Cousins, right? This is what Ye says about it himself. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing his pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousins till I was 14. Pause. So Ye puts out a song called Cousins, basically, where he's describing, giving top to his cousin till he was 14. Which Kanye is very bold for even putting that into the ears of his fans, and a lot of people are receptive to it. A lot of people are saying maybe this is why he's messed up in the head, and a lot of people are, feeling sorry for him. Which is a hard thing to go through. I think a lot of people, whether they want to admit it or not, a lot of young people go through this, especially in the black community. It's really shunned to talk about these type of situations that happen. But I think that it happens a lot more often than we would like to believe. And a lot of black families keep it on the hush-hush. A lot of families in general just keep it on the hush. We don't really talk about it. And we don't really, just say too much about it. So I think Kanye's bold for coming out. The song was actually written by David Blunt's, which I'm a fan of David Blunt's. But Kanye has taken David on this path of music. He's letting David ultimately write a lot of his album. And I think it's a good idea for Kanye as far as because David is very honest in his music. He's very upfront with a lot of his ideas. And I think that that's good for Kanye. What do y'all think about this Cousin song? I haven't heard it. I've read through the lyrics. A lot of people are talking about it. And it's crazy because Kanye comes out with a statement after he puts out the Cousin stuff where he's saying that he gave the blowjob to his cousin at 14, which is crazy. But he's asking, so since people think he's gay for doing that, can he say the F slur? Kanye's been saying the F slur a lot. We all know what slur that is. When you see a homosexual man, you want to call him what you shouldn't call him, the F slur. He's saying that since he put that song out and people think he's gay, can he say it without being canceled or without the consequences that a lot of other people go through when they say that? You know, that word is a buzzword, and it's banned on YouTube, and it's banned on Twitch, and it's banned on a lot of these streaming sites, and it's banned on a lot of places. Most places bans that word, but Kanye spews it out freely because Kanye thinks that he is bigger than the program. The last clip that I want to play of Kanye is the other day he went on Sneako's stream. He really gets up there and he suns Sneako. Check this video out.
I have eye holes in it. And yes, I did wear it before. And I don't mean to be rude to you guys. Gentlemen, do not cut me off while I'm in the middle of my sentence while we're talking about it. I know you guys might do that on streaming. Just don't do that here. And I prefer that when I'm done talking, you guys say, yes, sir, as opposed to, thank you very much, sir. But you guys are definitely big. You should have been able to find it by now. That's what's dope about streaming, though.
Yeah, it looks like
They're looking for it.
yeah.
So basically what we just listened to is Kanye West on Sneako's stream telling Sneako and his background people, do not fucking interrupt me while I'm talking. I know you do that on stream, but you're not gonna fucking do that here. And they're just sitting there like, yes, sir. Like, yes, sir. He says, I would much rather you say, yes, sir, as opposed to whatever the fuck they're saying, which is crazy. Kanye goes into places, especially when he knows that he's the bigger prize in the whole thing, because obviously Kanye getting on your stream is going to boost your stream. He knows that, and he decides that he's the guy, so shut the fuck up when he's talking. And that goes along with the little egotistical nature that Kanye displays a lot. That he's better than the average person, that he's better than a lot of these other people. And he says it. He says, I'm better. I really think Kanye thinks that, which is fucked up. You know, it's fucked up. But nonetheless, you know, a lot of these streamers are fanboys. A lot of these streamers are just waiting for the opportunity to blow up and waiting for the, well, not Sneako specifically or Neon, because, you know, they're some of the biggest streamers, but a lot of these people that are giving Kanye the platform know that this is one of the biggest moments in their careers. So they're just going to shut the fuck up and let Kanye say whatever the fuck he wants to, and ain't shit we can do about it. You feel me? So bless Kanye, man. Bless Kanye. I hope that Kanye finds some solace in himself. That he ultimately gets what he's looking for. You know. We'll talk more about Kanye as more news comes on. The next topic I want to talk about is Young Thug. Young Thug does an interview. I'm not really sure who the interviewer is, right? Where Young Thug talks about a lot that's going on right now. I believe Young Thug is courting up a a new album. And you know when Young Thug puts out an album, he does the most. He does the most. He's done it on a lot of his other albums. Check this out. Check out this.
Well, it feels like when you were away, it was sort of dominated by this like Drake Kendrick thing, you know?
Yeah, for most of it.
Which I don't know if you have like a side in that. Atlanta kind of even got dragged in by Kendrick, which was an interesting.
Yeah. He just like spoke on people's name in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. But I'm like a Drake fan.
Do you feel like it's?
No, he's talking about the Drake Kendrick thing. He's talking about how he's a fan of Drake, which obviously is because Drake was one of the first people to meet him when he got out of prison. It was alleged that Drake gave him $1 million. So they're friends. And he's basically saying, shut the fuck up to the Kendrick shit where he's, you know, that line, Thug made you feel like you was slimy. Yeah. He's basically like, shut the fuck up, Kendrick. Drake's my boy. But I feel like the overlying topic in all of this, we're glad you did the interview, Thug, but what the fuck do you have on, bro? Look at this right here. Look at this picture, y'all. Look at this picture. This is what Young Thug decided that he was going to wear during his interview. Now, I don't know if this is it looks like some sort of Shakespearean fucking Macbethian outfit where he's wearing this leotard or whatever the fuck you want to call it. He's wearing this mask with fur around it. Like, he kind of looks like Cat in the Hat, or he looks like a freaking demon slayer. He looks like, man, I could go on and on and on and on about what Young Thug looks like in this interview, which is funny. I think Young Thug is a genius when it comes to knowing how to get the fans talking, knowing how to get buzz around his tape, knowing how to get buzz around himself. We've seen it before. I think it was the Jeffrey album or something where he wore a dress. He did a whole press conference, a whole like shoot in a dress, and that was the talk of the town. Is he gay? Is he not? And is not? And I think he's doing the same thing with this outfit. A little crazy outfit choice for me, but I know why he's doing it. Yeah. So I think a lot of us are really laughing at that fact more than we are anything else. The last thing, I want to show you this part where basically Young Thug talks about Gunna. Check this video out.
Successful on your label. Yeah, he was arrested about the same time as you. Artist was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah. I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
I guess that's his own form of answer, huh?
You like to like plow
I do, absolutely.
deep into things.
Yeah. I'm a pro.
That whole speech you gave me earlier, like, yeah, I'm new to this shit. All this shit was just cap.
Oh, no, I'm new to the cameras. The
okay,
interviewing,
Okay.
I'm not remotely new to.
Yeah. I thought you was going to lie because I saw you a few times interviewing.
So basically, I think Young Thug played it well when asked about Gunna. I think that he's learned since his time being out is that people fuck with Gunna. Whether Young Thug thinks he was a snitch or not, I think that he's realizing that the fans have chosen to still rock with Gunna, no matter his efforts to call him a rat. He does have a new, Young Thug does have a new song out with Future, where he basically says that you niggas told for nothing. And I think that that's a direct shot at Gunna. But as far as in interviews, he's not really saying fuck Gunna. And I think the only reason that he's not doing that is because he's on probation, so he can't. I think if Thug wasn't on probation, that he would come out and outright say fuck Gunna, and don't rock with him. But I think that he's realizing, like I said, that people are rocking with Gunna whether he likes it or not, and I don't think that it's in his biggest benefit to go directly against Gunna as far as music goes, because like I said, Gunna has a lot of fans. His last album sold phenomenal. I think it was number one. He had a hit single come off of it. So Gunna's coming off of a crazy run, and I think that in order for Young Thug to be successful going forward, that he just needs to stay off the Gunna topic. Maybe throw little subs in there, but like I said, the fans are rocking with Gunna, so I think Thug is playing it cool right now. He's playing it cool. He's playing it by ear. But I do think that if Gunna ever slips, Young Thug is going to be on his ass. Because Young Thug was ultimately the one who was doing that time. He was the one that had his life on the line. He's the one who had his fate being determined by someone else. And I don't think any of us want to be in that situation. So shout out Thug. Shout out that outfit. But anyway, that's the last topic I had. You just finished watching another episode of the Man What podcast. Man What? With me, your boy, Beep, Auntie. Yeah. I'm glad you stayed tuned in. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you click one of these videos to the left or right just to continue your Man What journey. I got so much content, so many videos, so many clips for you to share and look at. So just make sure you stay tuned in until the next episode of the next Man podcast. Shout out everybody on TikTok. Shout out all my new subscribers, all my new followers. I love y'all, man. I'm going to continue to give y'all TikTok content. I'm going to make sure that I start streaming on TikTok and stuff like that when I'm shooting these podcasts, just to give y'all a little insight on what actually happens as I'm creating this content. So I love y'all, man. Y'all stay tuned in for the next episode. Shout out Gam Gam. This is her favorite podcast. Make sure that you put us on that big screen if you do have a big screen. Love y'all, man. Love all of y'all. I'm out. Peace.